Hey guys, welcome back to my video channel, BMOCTV. You can subscribe on YouTube to youtube.com/BMOCTV and follow me on Instagram at IamBMOC. Today I want to get into one of the biggest albums or mixtapes to come out this year. This was Drake's If You're Reading This It's Too Late. Check it out. Alright, so Drake's If You're Reading This It's Too Late, it debuted a few weeks ago, a mixtape album, whatever. It has a barcode, it's on iTunes, so whatever. In 4 days, the first 4 days, it broke like the US Spotify streaming record. It streamed like 17.3 million streams. He also sold like 500,000, over 500,000 units, so it's gold. Within that week, which is great. I mean, you can't argue that Drake's like the leading guy in hip-hop right now for the new generation is becoming a legend in his own right. So speaking of legend, the first track of the album is Legend. He actually sampled the old Genuine record, So Anxious, which I think is dope. Just paying like homage to like the 90s music, Timbaland, Missy, Genuine, that whole camp, man. Drake's always giving shout outs to Aaliyah, and he's worked with Timbaland before, so this is just a great way of kind of paying homage on that. Some of my favorite records he has is Energy. I got energy, got a lot of energy. Just talking about overcoming haters and overcoming people trying to like stop his wave and stop his movement. I don't know who could stop his movement at this point, but whoever's trying to, he's pushing out the way. A lot of references to like the 6. The 6 is like the last, I think, area code number in Toronto. So when he says he's like the 6th man or views from the 6, the 6th god, he's referring to like Toronto and being like the man, the king of Toronto, for those who want to know. We had 6 Man, which is one of my favorite beats that I love on the album. Also 6th God is I think that record debuted like maybe like last summer, and he put it on this project. 10 Bands is great. Used To is great. He pretty much didn't have a lot of guest features on this album besides like Travis Scott and Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne features on Used To. And Lil Wayne, I got mind control over Debo. Baba John, Mama Nino, I don't know what he's talking about. But only Lil Wayne can say half the stuff that he says, which is stand out. So that's cool. They always have a great chemistry, so I expected a Lil Wayne feature. I didn't hear Nicki on this project. I don't know if he's like saving her for the official album. I think the official album is going to be called Views from the 6, that comes out like later this year. So we'll see what happens with that. 6 p.m. in New York, where he takes a little shot at Tyga, saying you need to act your age, not your girl's age. They've kind of been going back and forth. It's been a lot of like internal, turmoil with the whole Young Money, Cash Money camp of people like not being happy and leaving and royalties. And I don't know. Hopefully, they get that fixed and settled, because they were probably the most powerful hip-hop movement in the last like 10 years. If you really think about it, whether you like individual members or not, collectively, they've been putting up units. Since Lil Wayne has had his whole run through the Carters, and then Drake and Nicki, like they've been putting up numbers. So, say what you want about them, but they've been moving units. Hopefully they can kind of get that settled or come to some kind of resolution with that. And, I also found that Drake's delivery is kind of switching up a little bit. I like that he's like stretching out some of the words. It actually reminds me a little bit of like early Ludacris. Not saying that like Drake is biting Ludacris, because Drake is great in his own right. I think like some like the extended words and even energy. Time to take the way, and it's just certain words that he says. So I don't know if that's conscious or like subconscious, I don't know. And then Ludacris, so people said Ludacris kind of mirrored his style a little bit after Redman. So it's hip hop, man. Things flow over. We listen to other MCs, but I thought it was interesting to listen to Drake now, how he's like stretching some of his words and putting extra emphasis. It just gives me that old Ludacris vibe. Drake's very diverse, man. People will say some of the songs sound the same, and if you don't really like dig into the album and you just hear certain tracks, they do kind of have some of the same waves, even with the effects. Shout out to his engineer and producer 40, who helps him with that like underwater sound, like when Drake's on a song, and then next thing you know, the beat sound is going underwater, which is like in studio terms, that's like a low pass filter. It's basically an effect that sounds like you're like in the next room and you're hearing the music in the other room. So that sound, and he does that sound a lot in the flows, but I think it's more about Drake trying to find his own sound. I think he has it. I think when you hear his records, you're like, this is a Drake record, and that's what you want. The game is so saturated right now with MCs and singers, and he's made a lane for himself. Either way, I'm just curious to see if Views from the 6 is exactly like this project, or if he takes a whole nother route in itself. So there it is. Again, you know, a great project by Drake. I probably downloaded like 10 songs out of like 17, which isn't bad. I mean, I'm a music guy, so in most cases I'm not gonna love every single album and download every single song. So to me, if I download more than 6 songs on an album, I think it's pretty great. So I downloaded, I purchased, downloaded 10 songs of this album. So I think it's great. Go check it out. If you like this video, you want to add something to it, please put it in the comments. I am running my iTunes contest, which you can find more information at BMOC.TV. I'm going to be giving out a $15 code for iTunes. You can purchase the music that I talk about in this video. All you have to do is take a screenshot of you liking, commenting, or sharing this video. Email it to wtucker@bmoc.tv, and you could be a contestant winner in getting that. And again, all the information is on the contest tab of my website, BMOC.tv. Thank you guys so much. Tune in next week for my next video. Peace.